we're all very down to earth. Don't be afraid to approach any of us with your questions or comments. Okay, good? We ready to go?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pitiful.
Ready to go?
Okay, are you ready to go? Yeah! All right. Like a bunch of dogs watching a ceiling fan up here, man. All right, who has one of these? Who has one of these that's turned on? You might want to turn them off, because when you come to my seminars, if a cell phone goes off, you have to give Paul Finley $10 toward his campaign, of which he gives me $7. So I'm turning mine off. I've given you enough money over the years. All right, what I want to talk about this morning is, are you cut out to be an entrepreneur? Is business really right for you? Who in here right now has a business? Online, offline, doesn't matter, part-time, full-time, okay? Of those of you here who have a business, who are in it part-time on the side? Okay, who's in it full-time? Who wants to go from part-time to full-time? Pretty much everybody? Who in here is not in business? Let me just see those hands. Proudly, he raises his hands. Well, here's why I asked this question. I think it's the American dream, really, to be in business. You know, the great American dream is to start your own business. Now, here's where I get comfortable. I do what's called strip seminars. By the end of this, if I get hot and uncomfortable, I'm shucking the clothes. Well, I think everybody has that dream of being in business. Everybody, unfortunately, is not cut out to be in business. As a consultant over the years, I've seen many businesses fail. And the reason businesses fail, you hear all the time about, well, it was we were underfunded, or there was a management problem, or we miscalculated the market. There are hundreds of reasons why businesses fail, but I think ultimately businesses fail for one reason, and that is the person who is running that business has no business being in that business. Does that make sense to you? They have either started a business for which they were ill-equipped to run, or they were not prepared, they didn't know enough about the market, they dove in, they saw someone who was making money in that business and they thought, how hard can it be? And then they got into it. The fact of the matter is, not everyone is cut out to be an entrepreneur. You know, I was saying, if it was easy, everybody would do it. And we would be a really weird world full of entrepreneurs. It'd be like that Dawn of the Dead movie where all those zombies are walking around trying to delegate to one another. That's what we'd be doing. So what I want to do to start off the weekend is a little quiz. And everybody, does everyone have one of the quiz sheets? Are you cut out to be an entrepreneur? Who does not? Mike, can you pass these out? Hey, welcome. All right, now I have to start all over again. Where's my jacket? How are you? Good. Good. Who does not have one of these sheets? Raise your hand. We'll get you one. You're good. Anya. Now what this is just a simple little quiz to help you self-assess whether or not you're cut out to be in business. Okay? You have to be very honest with yourself. Don't be bashful. No one's going to see your answers but you. We're going to go over these one at a time. But yeah, there are certain traits, certain characteristics that entrepreneurs have. Entrepreneurs, I believe, are wired a little differently than normal people, okay? Because of what we have to do. When you look at the word entrepreneur, you know, it's a fancy French word for one who starts and runs businesses. There are a lot of myths about business. You know, a lot of people think, well, business is risky. Who's heard that? Business is really risky. You ever heard that? Business can be risky if you don't know what you're doing. I'm a very big fan of calculated risk. Okay? Every business venture I have ever endeavored pretty much has succeeded because before I even went in, I knew what the risk was going to be. Okay? I didn't go in blindly. I did my homework, and that's a big thing when you're an entrepreneur. You have to do your homework. You have to look at your product. You have to look at your market. You have to look at your customer. Okay? A lot of homework. You don't want to dive in. So this little quiz is designed to help you decide whether or not business is right for you. Okay? Don't worry if you suddenly find out in the next 30 minutes that maybe business isn't right for you. I won't give you your money back, but I've saved you a ton of money in the long run. Yes? All right, let's go over these really quickly. And you can just circle the answer. Dan Miller is here, ladies and gentlemen, the famous Dan Miller, with his posse. How are you, buddy? Have some coffee and some Danish. Good. All right, let's start with these first up. Let me find my eyeballs. I'm getting old. The eyes are the second thing to go. My wife's still not happy about that first thing. I'm talking about my memory. Here, dirty thing. It's memory, I think. All right, number one, are you a self-starter? Your choices there are, I generate work for myself and others. I am adept at solving well-defined problems. I complete any assignment in an outstanding way and look to my boss for the next one. You got it? Got that one? Let's go to the next one, and then we'll come back and do a review. Do you like and get along with people? I have rarely met anyone I didn't like and respect. I have a few good friends that I enjoy, but have little interest in knowing a great many people. Or three, I'm not antisocial, but the great majority of people are jerks. I wrote that one. All right. Number three, has your career so far been primarily in small business, medium-sized business, large business, government, or nonprofit organizations? Or none of the above? You can write that in. Okay, next, did you engage in business activity as a child or a teenager? I started one or more businesses of my own. I worked all the time in a series of part-time and summer jobs. I worked when I had to. My dad wrote that one. Okay? How old are you now? 20s, 30s, 40s, over 50. Am I doing okay? Still with me? All right. Have you ever been fired, not laid off, but fired because you didn't get along with your boss or the environment? More than once, never. In my case, it's like every job I ever had. All right, what is your main reason for considering your own business? To be my own boss, for prestige and recognition, to get rich.